Fantasy football drafts are upon us, and you don't need to worry about reaching for a quarterback. We're still going to talk about who the best guy is out there. I am USA Today's Christian DeAndre. He is a Rhode Island scumbag, Mike Boyajian, and we're going to talk about the first quarterback who should be off your draft board. I don't know, maybe third, fourth round, deep well of suspects this year. Not a lot of surefire things at the top. So, Yaj, I was already looking at your notes. You got a little bit surprising pick for QB1. And let's be honest, it's a little bit of a homer pick, huh?
Oh, absolutely. But again, I can't really deny the data as well. So I'm just going to come out with it. I think it's going to be Drake Maye, New England Patriots. And again, like I said, homer pick. Of course it is. But more importantly, last year he was the quarterback 3 after the season. And going in, he was around anywhere between quarterback 9 to 12 in terms of the preseason ranking. So clearly he overachieved last year. I don't think anybody expected Maye to catch on to McDaniel's offense that quickly, especially after it being his first season in a very complicated situation. On top of it, they didn't really have too much for him to throw to. They added Stephon Diggs and Matt Collins. That helped a lot in the wide receiver room as a whole. So now this year, situation's gotten a lot better, hasn't it? We now swapped out Diggs for A.J. Brown and then added Romeo Doubs. So you now have a new number 1 and 2 receiver for him to pepper with targets. They reworked the offensive line as well. So, and on top of it, Will Campbell seems to be past the injury that he was clearly going through the end of 2025. So one last thing I do want to point out as well, run game should improve with the addition of Reggie Gilliam. I think that was a very underrated add this year.
Fullback reps.
Dude, McDaniels loves a fullback. It really does. It kind of just makes everything kind of flow a little bit smoother with that offense. So honestly, I think that he's got nowhere to go but up at this rate. If he was number 2 last year, naturally, it's what we're looking at. Josh Allen made the leap in 2019 to 2020 from a top 10 quarterback to the number 1 quarterback. All they did was add Stephon Diggs. That was it. Other than that, it was pretty much the same roster. And he went to, the number 1 quarterback overall. So I think with the improvement with the personnel in New England, along with the fact that he gets to play year 2 now, it's the first time he's played in an offense with the same coordinator 2 years in a row, leading back to UNC. So it's been a while. So yeah, I think he's the one to do it. And let's I'm going to put a caveat on this though. Okay. Would I take him first overall if it was me? Probably not, because last year, you look at the top 4 quarterbacks that finished in fantasy football, it was Josh Allen. Yep, he was ranked number 1. We knew that one. The next 3, Matt Stafford was 2, Maye was 3rd, and Trevor Lawrence was 4th. 3 of those 4 guys could have been had in double-digit rounds. So that's the only caveat I put on this is if you want to guarantee, you want to build your roster around an elite quarterback who most likely will get you to the playoffs at least. I think if you look back on a lot of these playoff teams, they typically do have the top quarterbacks in the league that year. It just depends on where you took them. Yeah. But I think I'm emphatically gonna agree that Maye should be the first quarterback off the board in fantasy this year.
Bold. I mean, I'm hoping for it. And I also 100% agree. You don't need to reach for a quarterback. Same with the tight end group where there's just a ton of depth there. The guy you get with the 10th quarterback off the board could be just as good as the first quarterback off the board. Right. Pretty reasonable. I mean, you went homer. I'm going to go boring. I'm going to go Josh Allen.
Yep.
The Ford F-150 brought to life by a drunken witch to haunt the lake shores of Erie is just such a monster, such an undeniable beast. And yes, I don't think DJ Moore is going to uplift the receiving core enough. So he's going to have to keep running the ball. He's going to keep crashing face first through defenders. He's going to score a bunch of touchdowns, more than 40 over the last 3 seasons. He's going to give you a ton of rushing utility on the ground. And even though he's throwing less and less or for less and less yards, he's the most consistent, the steadiest guy out there. Because in part, his competition is guys like Matthew Stafford, who's getting older, and we don't know how much he's still got left in the tank, whether or not they're going to be able to bring his back to full strength in the back of a Airstream trailer from the future. Drake Maye, who fell apart in the postseason, we all saw it. And I mean, a guy like Lamar Jackson, who doesn't really have a receiving core right now beyond Zay Flowers, and again, is an injury risk. So if you are putting in the draft capital to take the first quarterback off the board, you want someone is going to be available the full season and be able to give you 20 to 30 points on a regular basis. For me, that's Josh Allen. But again, don't reach for him. I mean, if he's around there in round 6, round 7, hell yeah. But like round 3, man, let someone else deal with that. Sit back, get Caleb Williams, get Brock Purdy. I mean, sit and wait on Daniel Jones. See if you can bring back the magic. I like
Justin
Josh
Herbert
Allen.
might be another late one too.
Enough to reach.
Yeah.
Was it
Justin Herbert?
Ooh, Chargers too cursed for me. Too cursed.
Oh man.